Hello. Sorry I ran late. Our clocks in this house don't jive. Woo, that's bright. All right. Do I have any messages from anybody?
Maybe.
All right. Hello.
Hey.
How's everybody doing? Why is it that when I work, my desk becomes a disaster zone? All right. I am going to jump in and talk about samples. As soon as I find where I took notes. There we go. So the weekly learning plan, since he does one every week, and that is what they base their weekly training on. So, and that means the Tuesday at 2 that I can't remember who does what, but there's Tuesday at 2 and there's Thursday at 2 that Sarah Walker and Jason Harwood do on the Cincy Family Consultants Facebook page. And then there is the Tuesday All Consultants training call that is at 11 o'clock Central Time. The All Consultant training call, I had quit doing it for quite a while because I have a regular conversation meeting at 11 o'clock on Tuesdays. And so I'd gotten away from doing that. But if you're available, it's a good one. You have to register for it. But it's a good one to listen to because it's generally, like last week was host coaching, this week was samples. Anyway, they tailor whatever the content is on that one to whatever the weekly learning plan is. And then at the end of the week, they'll ask you, what did you learn? On the Cincy Family Consultants page. They tell us on the director call on Mondays what the WLP for the week is going to be. So I have started using that as my roadmap for this call as well. It's generally, it's an all consultants call, so it's not usually a whole lot about leadership stuff. It's really more about the 6 skills of the selling system and different aspects of that. Prospecting and sponsoring is part of that. So it is part of the conversation, but it's an overall, whether you're a leader or not, there's good information on there. In addition to it being live at 11 Central on Tuesdays, they also post it within 48 hours to the training center on your workstation. So if you can't watch live, you can go and search. Like I said, I'm trying to get better about reminding on the Facebook group that it's going to be live, and the link is on there to register as well. And if I don't have my call with Christina, then I'm trying to attend. I was going to do the host coaching one that I missed, whatever week that was, a week or 2 ago, but I haven't got back to watching the replay. I'm bad about watching replays, y'all. But I will do that and share any information that I get on there. Actually, I really need to do that because I did a booking blitz today in Allison Dalkey's group. And I don't have any yeses yet, but I'm really hoping to get some yeses because I want to do some parties. But just as evidence that I did the dang thing, I did the dang thing. I messaged 11 people today. And then I spent another 20 minutes um, I pulled a report off of Workstation of everybody that ordered from me in 2020 and kind of massaged it around a little bit so I get better analysis off of it. So I'm going to try to spend another 20 or 30 minutes tomorrow sending messages out to people from that list. So fingers crossed I get some parties booked for March. Because I need parties. And I'm going to go over that more on a different training on Facebook probably later this week. But tonight we are going to talk about sampling. I was really excited about this training because Joseph and I spent some time last Friday. I told you guys on Weekly Winter I ran late because we were having a conversation I had been wanting to have since like December. Because I'm trying to do better about mapping out my plan at least 3 months in advance, a year if I can do it. I know that sounds really crazy, but I'm trying to automate things. And I'm trying to make them easier because I'm super scatterbrained. And so literally mail themes for the team. Don't want to show y'all too much. And then over here is customers. So I'm wanting to do more sampling and do more a variety of sampling. And we kind of made a plan through September of what we're going to sample each month. So I was really excited to do the training today, to be available for it, to hear what these subject matter experts had to say on the matter. And I'm just going to kind of go over my notes and add in my 2 cents. If y'all have any questions, you can unmute and pop in with those. My dishwasher's running. If you can't hear me, I can talk louder. Or you can use the chat feature. It should be functional to the best of my knowledge. So we're going to jump right in. So the 4 subject matter experts today, they did a panel. And that was the first time they've ever done a panel on a Tuesday training call. Thanks, babe. And it was it ran long. I was late getting to my booking blitz because of it. But Mark Ballard is a star director. Actually, he and his wife Gina work it together, but he was the one giving the panel today. And then the other 3 was Steffi Marlborough, Kelly Rayshaw, and Christy Ritters. They are all superstar directors. And they use sampling successfully in their business. Mark and Steffi were my favorite ones. I didn't get a whole lot of new stuff from Christy and Kelly. Kelly kind of talked about a good way to kind of bind it all together, though. So let's start with Mark. And I think it's a really good point. He made excellent points on why do you want to do samples? What's the point of doing samples? Obviously, the best way for people to experience Scentsy to decide to buy is to be able to smell it or try it. And let's be honest, that's true of any product, right? I think it was Kelly who later on talked about, she talked about going to the grocery store on Saturdays because that's the day they did samples. How many of you have gone through Sam's Club on sample days? And on Saturdays, it's always way more than any other day of the week, right? Who doesn't love going to the store and getting samples? Or I'm trying to think of where else you might pick up free samples. Even paint samples to test on your walls. And you kind of want that try before you buy aspect, right? So that's one reason for making samples. But in addition, in particular for us, you need to use your samples to create conversation. It's a critical part of why to make them. There's he talked about having an event or a party, in-person situation, make a whole basket full of samples and you just sit them out and let people grab and go, but you don't use them to create a conversation. So he started just kind of putting them back and as a conversation started, then he would offer samples. This was back in the days when we could still do events. But we are in a relationship building business, and you can utilize samples to do that. It's important to follow up. I'm kind of going out of order from the way he talked about it too. Following up with those people, you want to make sure you have contact information. So whether you are handing them out in orders, or handing them out in your workplace, or handing them out to family members, or handing them out at the grocery store, you need to be able to follow up. Use it to create a conversation. And you can do that in follow-up too. So if you're mailing them out, make sure you know what you mailed and to whom you mailed it, so that give it some time to get there, and then you follow up. Hey, how did you like that sample of whatever it was? The other thing about all of this is invest your time wisely. Don't spend a whole lot of time making samples if you're not going to do anything with them, because that's just silly. And also, if you know you want to do samples, but you don't have a whole lot of time, don't overcomplicate the situation. If you've both been around Scentsy for a little while, today is Allison's Scentiversary, woohoo! And you've been in those groups, you've seen all the molds, you've seen the molds in the consultant store, you've seen all the cutesy wootsy little samples. That takes time. I mean, any of it's going to take some time, but doing the cute ones takes even more time. It's not necessary. I mean, the point is just so they can smell it. If that's your love, if that's what you really enjoy doing, by all means, set aside the time to do it because you enjoy it, but make sure you're also doing something with it afterward. If you really just want to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, get it done, find the easiest way possible to get it done and do it. You can grab a bar of whatever you have on hand. I'm not asking anybody to buy anything they don't already use themselves. But you can use what you have on hand. Use a crinkle cutter, use the butter knife. Our bars are pretty simple to cut, with just doesn't take a very sharp instrument. It does not have to be cute. Just cut it up and put it in a bag and label it. I even saw something recently. I think I have a picture of it that I'll probably try to find again to post on the Facebook group. But somebody had started using. They went to like the dollar store and bought a really cheap cheese grater, and they used the cheese grater with the bar or the brick, whichever you've got on hand, and literally grated up little bitty pieces and put them in a baggie and sent them off. I mean, if you're wanting people to melt it, it doesn't matter what it looks like, right? I mean, how clever is that? Cheese grate. I mean, that's got to be pretty quick and easy way to do it, right? But the important thing is invest the time wisely. Make it as easy and as cheap and all of that as possible. So you're creating conversations with your samples. You're following up from whoever you put in the sample in the hands of, and you're using your time wisely. The last thing is using samples to target certain products or customers. So for example, if you are wanting to up your game, you've got plenty of wax customers, or you just want to branch out away from wax because maybe you don't have enough wax customers. Whatever your reasoning is, pick a product that you want to branch out on and target that product. For example, washer whiffs. They told us a year or two ago that washer whiffs are like the gateway drug to a Scentsy addiction. Literally, I think it was Jeff Dastrup said that. People use the washer whiffs and they love them, and that kind of starts them down their Scentsy road of buying all of the things. So that's probably a good one to start with. A tub is $30. A jar is $12. I don't even have a catalog to look it up, y'all. I still haven't ordered US catalogs. Because in case you don't know, I got Canadian. But if you use washer whiffs, just use what you have on hand. But put a party together, use your rewards to get some washer whiffs. Or oils, if you want to buy a little $10 bottle of oil or oil, depending on how you say it, you can drop those on, I should have grabbed my flowers. I'm sure they're in my drawer somewhere. But you can get cheap little flowers from Hobby Lobby, drop, put a drop of oil on that, seal it up, mail it. So you're targeting certain products and you're getting those into the hands of as many people as possible. Maybe that's what you're going to put in your, everybody who orders gets a sample of X, whether that's for the year or for the month or however you want to do your business, whatever your target product is. Find the most inexpensive way to sample it, get it into as many hands as possible. The other really cool thing to do is target particular customers. For example, if you have a customer who absolutely loves Luna, get them a sample of Luna laundry product or a sample of, are we still doing Luna in the, I don't know where my catalog got off to. Told you it's been a crazy day. If it's a product that they love and it comes in our other options, yes, we're still doing Luna, just checking. Give them a sample of it. One of the things I'm doing is not a sample, but I am going to make labels that say this product also comes in, and make a list of it and stick that on the bottom of Luna bars or whatever bars. Those are great ideas. So why sample? Creating conversations that you must follow up on, targeting certain products or customers. Also, you got to follow up on those, and invest the time. Like I say, I can't stress the invest time and money wisely enough. This is not something that's supposed to bankrupt you as a consultant. This is a tool in your toolkit to either increase your sales or encourage hosting. Okay, it's because you're wanting to grow that customer base so you can grow your numbers, right? Okay, any questions about why? You can unmute or post in the chat, whichever you're most comfortable with. I'm going to go on to what Steffi Marlborough had to say. She talked about the cost and time efficiency aspect, and she talked about, as far as time goes, the most efficient way for time is to buy the stuff from the consultant store. I actually have some of those here. Oh, that would be my printer. Oh, so you can buy these handy dandy little samples from the consultant store. That's a sample of body cream. Those are all body cream. There's lotion. There's the hand soap. And there's the body wash. So, I could give everybody just a whole bathroom collection right here. I don't, because that's using up all my samples. What else do we have? The other thing, these are washer whiff samples. You can buy them in the consultant store. You can add them to a party order to get discounted shipping. Or free if it's full enough. This is a pre-made sample of dish soap. So time-wise, that is your best deal because it's all done. All you have to do is order it. Excuse me, I just finished dinner, y'all. And you're just ready to send it off. However, that may not be the most efficient, cost-effective way to do it. They're not overwhelmingly expensive. They run, I think, 50 cents to $1 a sample. I don't remember. I can probably look it up pretty quick. They're not, like I said, it's not ridiculous priced, but it's still money. And if you are looking to not spend money, which I totally respect and understand, then that's probably not the way that you want to go. But also in the family store, hang on, I'm looking. So a body bundle, oh, that's not bad, actually. That's Go-Go Mango. You don't want Go-Go Mango. So for example, you want to get a Luna packet kit. You get 4 packets of the 4 products. So there's 16 of these little doo-woppers, and it's $4.80. That's not bad. And they have it available in Go-Go Mango, which you probably, I don't think, let's consult my Canadian catalog. I stand corrected. Go-Go Mango is still in there. So is Luna, Pineapple Coconut Vanilla, and Shimmer. So pick your scent or get a couple of them for $4.80. That's not a bad deal. Washer whiff samples are $10 for 10, so they're about $1 a piece. They're straight up $1 a piece. Laundry liquid and scent sea soft are $1 a piece. Packet of 10 for $10. They also have a pet packet sampler kit, and it is a bundle of 10 of the shampoo for $8. So that is an option. Also in the family store, they have little felt shapes. Y'all know I love my felt samples. They have the classic curve. You get a pack of 100 of them for $6. They have cute spring summer set as well. That's got butterflies and snow cones and flowers. It's 100 for $6.50, but those are sold out right now. And they also have cute little bags, but cost effective for that kind of stuff. Make your own. I'm just saying. Time wise, it's going to take more time to make your own, but it's going to be cheaper. Joseph gets our felt from Wish. I'm pretty sure I've showed these before. This is one from last fall. So they are super, super duper thin and small. Still smells good. These are teeny tiny little bags. Bags are getting hard to find. I have a new source for bags. I will tell you how it goes. We placed the first order last night. Sorry, smells good. But I just literally dip it in wax, use tweezers, pull it out, let it harden, put it in a bag. These are 1-inch labels that I got from onlinelabels.com through Amazon. So I'm all about the felt samples when it comes to wax. Steffi's message is KISS, keep it simple, Scentsy, or keep it Scentsy simple, however you want to put that. Avery.com for labels. Their design and print feature is free. You don't have to use Avery labels to use Avery.com. So if you're not creative, if you want to have the cutesy little stuff, but you're not a cutesy little maker, use the templates that they have in their design and print section and print them off. Another tip that Steffi had was full sheet sticker paper. So it's a full sheet of adhesive backed paper. She said those are actually cheaper than buying the labels. I didn't confirm that, but it's also one of those things, if you're wanting different sized things, instead of buying all of the labels, just get the full sheet and then use a scrapbooking paper punch. So she's been using that for her almost 10 years, right at 10 years in the business. The punch might cost you a little bit. The 1-inch punches, I don't remember how much they are. I think 40% off coupons are good through the end of this month. After that, just keep an eye on when Michael's or Joann's or Hobby Lobby were having a sale to go buy a punch and go that way. I thought that was pretty good information. One of the other things she talked about is using stickers. You can buy a variety of sticker sheets in the consultant store. I mean, if you subscribe to the Sin of the Month, you get them. These are mine for this season. So I don't know if y'all know this either. Most of them come looking like, oh, we lost Allison. They're like that. These are like, I think they're $2 or $3 a piece, and you get 72 of them. You don't have to get them all. We'll cover that in a minute. But they have a template, and I will share that with you guys if you want it, where you can put all 10. If you wanted to invest that money, that's fine. If you don't, I've actually been using my old Scent of the Month stickers for things that are now in the catalog, and I use those in my catalogs until I got these in. But did you know that when you order the stickers for a different product category, they have a different shape? So those were for the wax. This is for body. You see how it kind of looks like the body wash. Funny story, they sold out a watermelon tangerine again on the wax ones before I could order them. Watermelon tangerine's also in the body, so I went ahead and got this one. So it still covers the base. And then if you want to get one for oil, then they look like our oil bottles. So that's super cool. So they have sticker sheets that are super cute that, you know, for all 10, or you can make your own. No, Steffi said nobody has ever complained about getting a sticker, a rub and sniff sticker, instead of a wax sample. The other thing that is useful along the same lines as the stickers, but maybe a little more, instead of trying to get 10 of them for all the new releases, these are some postcards. I don't know if they are straight up in the consultant store or you have to go through the Vistaprint portal in the consultant store, but it only has spots for 3 stickers, and the back just looks like a postcard. So you could literally mail this with a postcard stamp, which I think is still 35 cents. It's going to cost you probably around $10 to get 3 packs of those sticker sheets with 72 stickers on it, and this 100 pack of postcards. I can see if I can try to find those real quick. You would think it would be on sampling, but it's not. Oh man, there's new stuff in here. This is why I don't come in here. Focus, focus, focus. Focus, focus, focus. Oh, there's cute stuff in here. Focus. Ooh, what's that? Nope. Squirrel. Focus. Focus, focus, focus. Am I getting closer? There they are. They are $6 for 100. So again, stickers are just awesome. And if you have team members, then maybe that's worth a conversation to have of, hey, I'm going, you know, if you order half, I'll order half, and we'll split it. That would be cost effective as well. This is not PRV stuff, so you don't have to worry about that. Kind of works better if they're near you, but shipping it, you know, splitting it up wouldn't be that expensive. Sticker sheets are $3 each. Well, $3 for 72 stickers. So anyway, this is a little bit more cost effective than doing the whole shebang, right? And if you want to just focus on like best sellers, you can look in the catalog and they have a bestseller mark on them. The top 3 bestsellers like ever, just so you know: Black Raspberry Vanilla, Luna, and Clean Breeze. I don't know if the Clean Breeze stickers are back in stock or not, but another one I would look for, blueberry cheesecake. But if you look in the catalog, they have bestseller above them. I would say any of those would work. If you're having to pick 3, if you're having to pick 1, I would go with something that's marked bestseller. Okay, so I'm making an even bigger mess out of my desk. But it's okay. It's worth it. So those are some ways to keep it simple. Now that, here is the truth of the matter. If you're going to go big into sampling, it's going to cost you a little bit of money. Okay? Don't let it cost a whole lot. Pick one idea and roll with it, and pick the idea that fits your budget best. So if doing felt wax samples fit your business best, or cutting up bars that you have on hand, by all means, 100% do that. Do one thing to get started, use it to make yourself more money, and then do something more the next month. You following me? It doesn't have to be a thing of I'm going to do all of the things. Like I told you guys, I am looking at the thing I'm looking for. I'm losing my mind. So I'm wanting to focus more, not a whole lot more, but I definitely want to showcase more of our stuff beyond the wax and warmer situation. So in March, I'm going to send out an oil sample. I'm going to get a cheap oil and include it. And this is mostly not all of my customer mail. This is really going to focus on my Scentsy Club people. And I may, since it's old, it's going to be flat. I may do everybody, but don't tell them. Just because that's different. But it's going to be flat and cheap to mail as well. Now in April, I want to do counter clean. That's going to cost me a little bit more, but I'm hoping that I was hoping to make more money this month, so I could go toward buying supplies that I need for the counter clean sample. So I may have to mix things up because this month has not gone exactly the way I wanted to. But that's why it's a good idea to make yourself a list of what you want to sample and figure out the best time for sampling it based on when you're going to have the best financial means to do so. Okay. Wax is always a great place to start, and it's pretty simple and easy. And if you don't want to buy labels, if you don't have sticker sheets and you don't want to buy labels, if you can print them at home and stick them on with Scotch tape, that's 100% okay. The point is just so they can smell what we have. All right. Christy Ritters was the next presenter. She's actually Canadian. And she didn't really give a whole lot of new that I wrote down. One of the things that I thought was super cute that she mentioned, I don't know if you have paid attention to it or not, but the new clamshells have little designs on the bottom. I don't think I have a brick. Maybe I do. I stand corrected. So they started this. Gosh, this sounds good. I may have to go buy this off of the sale. I'm just saying. The bricks started with these cute little designs on them 2 or 3 months ago. And now the clamshells, the regular bar clamshells, have them on there as well. You could pour a teeny tiny little bit of wax into each one of those just to have a little bit cutesier. And I'm not saying like you're going to pour it right in that, because that's actually a relief. This is the indented side. But it would just make a flat sample a little bit cuter. And if you place an order and you got a bar, then you've got that little cuteness. So I thought that was a really, really neat little tip. The other thing, if you've been around for a while, and if you've got extra testers laying around, make sure that you have the testers you need for this season. Give away the other ones. Use them for making, if you've got duplicates of anything for this season, use it to make a sample or a bunch of samples. These are the wax cups that come in whiff boxes. I'm trying to think if they come in anything else. I have an awful lot of them just to be whiff boxes because I haven't got that many whiff boxes. I don't know. We've gotten them over the years. Anyway, this is like 4 cubes, and I can get a whole bunch of felt samples off of this. So our testers now are probably at least 2 cubes worth. And if you're doing felt, you can even dip it. It doesn't have to be the whole thing. You can get a lot of samples out of that. So utilize those testers you have laying around doing nothing, either by handing them out to people as a thank you gift or as a whatever, or use them up yourself. And if you want to use them for sampling, you just take the cap off, turn them upside down in a warmer, and they melt. Lastly was Kelly Rayshaw. And the only thing she added, and this is where it gets a little bit pricey, and I'm really not sure how I feel about it. I've been struggling with this concept ever since I heard about it. But people keep saying it's really good. And I'm trying to figure out the most cost effective to do it for myself. But she said that she, in her 9 years, I think she'll be coming up on 10, but 9 years, she had never, ever, 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 ever had a successful Facebook party. And then last fall, she heard about these sample mailers that people were doing, and she started doing those, and she hasn't not had a $1,000 party, Facebook party, since she started doing them. That's a little inspiring to me. I would like to have a few $1,000 Facebook parties. But I still think I want to tone it down a little bit. But she uses the bubble mailers that are available in the Scentsy Family Store. You can get bubble mailers from Walmart, from the dollar store, from Walmart. Did I say Walmart? Amazon. You can get them from just about anywhere. Like 6x9 size words. I think one way that would be cost effective, she has a Google form, or she says sometimes she just has them send her a text message. The first 10.
I don't help with that. Here are other things you can try.
Google thought I was talking to her. The first 10 people in the party sign up to get this in the mail, and then she mails it out immediately. And then 5 days after she mails it, they start the party, and it starts the conversation because people are talking about how awesome their little party kits were. I think one way to make it more cost effective would be to do fewer of them. Maybe do 5. Maybe even if you want to go really cheap, only send it to the host. Just saying. Because there's a lot in there. So she does pet samples, laundry samples, 2 scent mixer samples. So she takes like felt, dips one end in one scent and the other end in another one, or she makes super thin ones using molds. She also does felt samples of the 5 new samples, and a felt sample the scent of the month, a sample of Scentsy Fresh, room spray, and counter clean. So that's a lot of samples. That could get a little bit pricey to make them all. So this might be something you aim to do for the fall or maybe summer, or however long you think you can put aside the money to buy the, what's the word I'm looking for? The materials to make that many samples, or slowly be making samples from now and then once you get some. Obviously, when she does the Google form, she asks them if they have pets. If they don't, she doesn't send them that. We all have laundry. I think you could pare it down a little bit if you wanted to start it. I think you could even go with the stickers, and that would be pretty cheap, a lot cheaper to mail, and less inexpensive to get started with. But in addition, she includes a catalog. Inside the catalog, she has a scavenger hunt. She also hides stickers in there. I did that myself and asked them to tell her where the scent stickers were. And then she even includes a top 10 reasons to join Scentsy, because why not? Inside the catalog for them to fall out in different places, so it falls out. She also has a sticker on the envelope asking them to share to social. Basically post on, I love referrals, and has a referral program to go with it and whatnot. The key to all of that is that just up front, it's $3 to $4 to mail that. And I can attest that's about what it costs to do my weekly winter mailers on pirate ship. So that's on par. So that's, she's spending $30, $35 just to mail those per party. But again, if she's having $30,000 parties, she's making bank. So something to think about. Maybe pare it down, maybe something to do the ultimate mailer for a host. If it's a host that's nearby, you could drop it off at their door. It doesn't have to be mailed. If you can get all local people, you can request addresses and porch drop it just to make it cheaper. You're still going to have to invest the money to make the samples, but that's between you and your budget. Also, caveat, probably should have said it at the beginning, if you're doing samples, make sure they are properly labeled. There is an All About Samples group that has a Google Drive to all of the labels. Obviously, if you buy them from Scentsy, you don't have to worry about labels because they've got it labeled. But the All About Samples group, they have a gajillion of these for every product in the catalog that we can sample. Like all of them. And it's amazing. I use them all the time. This is on a, obviously, jar disc. So that is all of that stuff on samples. Katie, you're the only one left. Do you have any questions? Do you want to process through ideas for doing it cheaper?
No, I've just been listening to what you've been saying, taking it all in.
It's a lot of information. See, these were things I had laying around just from having Scent of the Month. I even have one for Pets Plus that I used in my first round of catalogs because that's all that I had on hand. And so I just used what I had. And I think that's a really important point. Can't talk. Use what you have.
Right.
And if you have something and you don't know how to sample it, let's talk about it.
Okay.
If you're going through your personal stash or anything you might have for stock, if the stock's not moving for you and it's something you can sample, then think about doing that and think about who you can get it in the hands of. I know mailing gets really expensive. That's why I like the postcards, because I think it's 35 cents. It used to be 35 cents. That's a good option for people you haven't heard from in a while, just because it's cheap. And but if you've got local customers and you've got old testers, stick 3 or 4 of them in a bag and drop them off. I've got a booty load of old testers. I think if I ask Joseph to go through them again and don't do anything with them, he's going to make me sleep on the couch for a month. I don't know how many times we keep going through them, and I've got these brilliant ideas for using them, and they just don't get used. Either nobody shows up for my open houses, or nobody books parties, or whatever the case may be. But I've got a gajillion billion.
So why not use them as your samples?
I probably will. I don't have any of the new ones, obviously, because I don't even have bars of the new ones. But yeah, I'm probably I'm going to pull some out and see if I can't find some. I'm gonna, like, this is aloe vera and ivy, so I can use that to make samples. I have somebody in Delaware who's considering joining, and she loves aloe vera and ivy. So I actually had that set aside to mail to her with a with a join packet.
Right.
But it's been sitting around so long now, it's it's discolored. I mean, I could melt it and pour it back in there, and that would probably get rid of the discolorization. But I don't think I could get the label back on. So, I don't know. I like the idea of $1,000 parties. I don't like the idea of spending $30 to get them.
And who did you say said does that?
Kelly Rayshaw does it, but she is not the only one who has said the exact same thing. I know that Megan tried to do some in August and September of last year. And they didn't turn out to be $1,000 parties. But I mean, it's kind of a balance too, because you still need to have a good host who's interacting. And I think that was some of what she was struggling with. I know on one of them, her host showed up like 20 minutes late for the live portion of the party.
Oh no.
So when your host isn't even engaged, and then people booked from that party just to get more of the sample kits. So there's some level of, you've got to be careful with it and make sure that people are, that at least a portion of them are going to actually order. Obviously, not everybody's going to order, and that's fine.
Yeah.
I think doing one and sending to a host would be good, and maybe sending a very much smaller version thereof. Maybe just the felt samples of some, 5 cents. You can mail 5 cents for 51 cents. I think I've mailed up to 10 felt samples in an envelope for just first class postage, just the forever stamp, which is now 51 cents. So why did I do that? Clear. I don't even know how to function with the calculator. I mean, $1,000 party is $250 in our pocket. Just base commission. So I'm really considering it. And maybe, like, I know she was talking about on the pet sample, she actually included all 3 things from the pet thing. And she said, how did she say she did it? So one week she made samples of the detangler, one week she did the shampoo, and one week she did the, what's the other product we got? Fresh, the doggy freshener.
Deodorant?
Yeah. And then
right.
My brain's fried. And then the 4th week she packaged it all up together. And then she did the same thing with laundry. She did laundry liquid one week, she did washer whiffs one week, and she did the dryer discs another week, and then she bundled it up cute the 4th week. So she just kind of, that's what she does throughout her month. There's just one day that she has set aside for doing samples. And then felt samples, they don't take long at all. I can do several of those real quick. But still kind of goes back to, having the cute little bottles and printing labels, and if you don't have the products, getting the products. So yeah, I have the pet supply stuff because I got it at SFR. I'm trying to remember which SFR we got those at. Wherever it was introduced, it was one that Joseph was in there with me, because I came home with 2 of them. I've used the detangler because I use it on Riley, and it works like a charm. So yeah. And dish soap. So maybe in doing all of the pet sampler stuff, maybe just do the shampoo or the fresh. Maybe instead of doing all of the laundry, you just do washer whiffs. And counter clean. Maybe instead of counter clean, do the dish soap, There is a technique where you can buy sponges and you cut them up into real small pieces that'll fit in the small bags, and you just drizzle a little bit of the dish soap in there and let it set till it soaks in. And there's a label for telling them how to use it. And it's just good for washing a few dishes, but it's still useful for washing a few dishes. So that's pretty flat. I mean, you're still not going to get away from that, you know, $3 shipping, because it's going to have to go in a bubble mailer because some of them are 3-dimensional. But that's a cheaper way to make samples and still hit a lot of the different products. But you could also maybe do the dish soap and some felt samples and call it good. You know, I'm still working through it because I want to do it, but I don't want to spend what she spent to get started. So anyway, that was what they went over today. I thought it was good information. It made me think. And some of this stuff I have laying around, so I need to use it. But that's all. That's not all. That's most of what I had for today. The other thing, I got our word pieces in today. And I'm going to do a live tomorrow and talk about them too. But I will give you a sneak peek since you're on here, and then you can skip that live tomorrow. Or at least only halfway pay attention. I was looking for something to do for consistent rewards. And I mean, I'm still going to do the top 5 in sales postcards. I'm still going to do weekly winners. But I needed to come up with something for the monthly green challenge, for team building, and for those people who get 1,000 PRV per month. And Joseph and I racked our brains and searched all over the web for ideas. Allison does pins and patches. My bag's over there. So I like that idea. I was hoping to figure out something. Again, this goes back to that whole shipping thing. I'm spending a lot on shipping. I need to dial it back. But I still want to reward what's going on. Plus, I just really like the pins and patches. But anyway, we debated back and forth about what to do. We landed on buttons and patches. So, and then all came in already. So I will get to work on these probably late this week or early next week. But these are our new monthly green challenge rewards. They are iron-on patches. You'll get that with something else. You'll know when you get it in the mail. But every time you meet your monthly green challenge, so if you are essential or certified, your monthly green challenge is to have 200 PRV by the 15th of the month. If you're lead or above, then the goal is 500 by the 15th. And every month you get that. You get a green patch, green star patch. And I'm probably going to figure out something for a 6-month consistency. Or, you know, when you have 6, let me know. Something along those lines. I haven't nailed that part down. For recruiting, I have these cute little buttons.
Yeah, I like those.
And there are 7 different styles. There's that one. It says super. I'm throwing them. Incredible. And one of them's open. Amazing. I like them because they look like superheroes.
They do.
Fantastic.
That's cool.
Terrific. And bravo. I'm going to set aside, I haven't figured out what exactly, but I have 7 of those Definitely going to get a button for recruiting. I haven't figured out which ones are for recruiting and which one are going to go with these for the 1,000 PRV. So when you have 1,000 PRV in a month, a staple in it. Why? Then we have these really pretty butterfly patches. And actually have different sizes. So I wasn't expecting the different sizes, so I haven't exactly figured that part out yet. But for 1,000 PRV, you're going to get a butterfly patch and a button as well. So I'm excited. To have that figured out for one thing. And now I can get caught up. I wasn't expecting them to come that quick either. But that's all I have. Do you have any random questions or anything about samples or anything about end of month or anything like that? How's your fundraiser going?
It's going pretty good. I got a couple of orders in and I have a couple more to put in.
Good.
So it's going better than what I thought it would.
That's great. I saw earlier when I was looking that you were really close to being active.
Almost. I'm almost there.
Woohoo!
But no, I'm just trying to wrap my mind around everything and get a plan for next month.
Yes, I know it's a lot to take in, and I know you're not wanting to spend money, and I don't want you to spend money that you don't have to spend.
Right.
Trust me that there are ways around that part.
Okay.
There's economical ways of doing it for sure. You know, like I said, you can do more of the flatter stuff, so you can mail it for 51 cents. Or, I mean, I think even the best route for you at this point would be to look at people who live near you and do porch drops.
What's a porch drop?
Where you just drop it off by their door.
Oh, okay.
Instead of spending the money to mail it, maybe when you're going into town to grocery shopping anyway, then you take an extra 30 minutes and drop little goodie bags off at with customers. And then you can count that mileage as tax deduction for next year. Or, if you're, if you've got a lot of customers in the same location, either somebody's work or your work or anything like that, then you could take them up to work and hand them out.
Right.
Just trying to save you that that postage part of it. Or if they're customers who live close to your parents, when you go visit your parents, take stuff with you and take an hour to drop around and drop stuff off by somebody by front doors and say, hey, just wanted to say thanks. I just left you a little goodie bag or some samples or whatever you're handing out. Look through your testers, see if you've got some testers you can spare. You can buy the little treat bags in the party section at Walmart. They're like 97 cents for 20 of them. Attach that with the product list or something along those lines. Just make it cheap and easy.
That sounds like a good plan.
Yeah, and then, and there's don't make it, when you do the follow-up, obviously you're going to make a list of what you sent and That's going to be a little bit harder unless, if you're going to do, however many you're going to, if you're going to do 20, that's a lot more to keep up with. But you definitely want to keep up with what you hand out to whom. Even if you're doing the little goodie bags, put a name on it. So you send certain things to certain people or drop off certain things to certain people. So that way, when you follow up and you say, okay, you don't follow up and ask them for a sale. All you do is say, hey, what did you think about, what was your favorite scent out of that? Did you check, include a catalog or a product list with it, whichever you've got on hand, and, ask them what their favorite thing in the catalog was. Not so much, do you want to order? Because that comes across as being more pushy, but it's just hey, I thought of you. Thanks for being my customer in the past. I thought you might want to smell some of the things we have available now. And here's a new catalog. Or even, send them a text message and say, so what, what's your favorite? Do you like fall scents? Do you like spring scents? And even if they prefer fall, you can still give them fall and give them the new spring summer catalog. Just on the follow-up, hey, I know it's the spring summer catalog and these scents aren't available now, but you said you liked them, so they were my extras and thought you might like to have them. And you can even write that on a little personal note in there. And then when you follow up, you can ask, which one did they like best? And you can make a note of that. I've actually got a note here that I've got to stick in my project broadcast for a customer that, she loves cashmere pear and autumn stroll. I got her some cashmere pear in December, but that I just keep track of what her favorites are, and when they come back, I'll let her know. Or maybe you've got a different way of keeping up with what people like or what they order.
I haven't, but I like your idea.
Some people use like a binder. Some people use recipe cards. Some people just keep track of it in an Excel spreadsheet. Those are good things to keep up with, so that if especially something discontinues, you can tell them it's going away. If it comes back, you can tell them it came back.
Right.
As a matter of fact, I think cashmere pear was on the sale. I don't know if it's sold out yet or not. It is. So I'm going to message her and say, hey, I know you just got a couple of bars in December, but it's $4.80.
Yeah.
You want
and if she forever wants it, get her to get close.
Right. Well, thanks for hanging out with me.
Thanks for hanging out with me.
Good luck wrapping up. Are you going to wrap up the fundraiser Sunday, or are you carrying it on in March?
No, it ends tomorrow.
Okay.
But I'm excited. I got a few orders and got my stuff out there.
That's what it's all about, and doing that consistently.
Yeah.
And following up with the people that ordered. When we talk about follow up, it's not so much about just when you want them to order again, when they get their order. I actually did create a system so that you thank them for their order, you let them know when it's shipped, and if you can tell them when it's going to arrive, great. If you whatever, at least let them know when it's left the warehouse so they know when to expect it roughly. And then a few days after that, did you get everything okay? Then a little bit after that, did you like everything? And then, maybe a month to 6 weeks later, then it's more of a, hey, I'm just checking in to see if you need anything.
Right.
But keep it light and casual, Katie tone, however Katie would talk to them, about any other conversation. But creating a system around it's critical so you don't forget. Whether that's reminders on your phone that you need to follow up, or you have a binder, or whatever you want to use. I've done all of it.
I need to. I haven't done that, but that will help majorly.
Yes, I mean, even just doing a simple notebook, just a cheap notebook from the dollar store. I mean, Dollar Tree has 3-ring binders and loose leaf paper and dividers. The system that I was using, I don't even know if this binder's still available, but same process. I've got a spot for when I'm waiting on payment from somebody. I do their order form and I stick it in there until they pay me. And then, a pending order that I haven't placed yet. And once I place it, but as far as follow-up, once it's placed, I'm waiting on it to ship. So that would be, once I place it, it's a thank you. I'll let you know when it's shipped. And then once it's shipped, let them know it's going to arrive. And then 2 weeks later, 2 months later. And that worked really well. You don't have to have the fancy little binder to do it. You can totally just use a notebook. And maybe even it's just, even in your calendar. I need to follow up with so-and-so on such and such date. Just have to remember to check it.
Yeah, that's another hard thing.
Right, which is, why it's important to have that time set aside either daily or weekly or both, that, I'm spending the next 30 minutes working on my business. You may take the full 30 minutes, it may take you 10 minutes, but Tim and children, I am working for the next 20 minutes. I'll be with you then.
Yeah.
And set a kitchen timer and stick to it. So
I like that. Thanks.
That way, you let them know what's going on. You honor the time that you've set aside, keeping that promise to yourself. And then you stop when you say you're going to stop, which keeps the promise to your family.
Right.
Whether it's, and it doesn't have to be 20 minutes. If it's 15 minutes or it's 30 minutes, whatever you can spare for the day.
Which would be good right now because he's in school. So he needs his time to do school.
Right.
And the kids are teenagers now, so they don't want hardly anything to do with me. So it works out for everybody.
I know that feeling. And maybe it's, one of those things where you're like, okay, as soon as I'm done with dinner, I'm going to, work for 20 minutes and then I'll do the dinner dishes. Give yourself motivation. Right. I can put off doing the dinner dishes if I work my business for 20 minutes.
Yeah, that is very big motivation.
And then once I do the 20 minutes, I'll let myself have one piece of chocolate.
I like your motivators.
Yeah, you got to motivate yourself. Some days we don't wake up with the motivation, that's for sure.
No, that was today. Today was a grumpy day.
I'm sorry. I get
it. It's okay. It's my arthritis. I feel the storm coming in.
Yeah. I woke up the last 2 days with headaches, so I get it. It's not fun.
It is not fun. But tomorrow's Wednesday. We've made it to the middle of the week.
Yes. Well, I am going to let you get back to it. And if you think of anything later or you want to process through maybe 10 minutes tomorrow, you look around and find something that you could sample out or a few things that you could sample out and you want to process through it, then just holler at me and let's do that.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
I'm working at tents this week, so it may be Saturday.
Okay, that's fine.
All right. Have a good night.
You too. I'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.